dropping. Air pressure level decreasing. Processing valuable object. Credits awarded. Object not accepted. Please revisit your training. Caution, tether supplies running low. Warning, no tethers remaining.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Caution, tether supplies are low.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Deposit not accepted. Salvage running low. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Work order complete.
Warning, tethers depleted.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Affordable oxygen supplies are available for purchase in the master jet.